I asked to sit here, and here I am. I guess I finally figured out how to get into the Vortex. It's taken a couple of years. In '96, I was introduced to someone who had found Ask and It Is Given. And in August, I came to the first of the seminars that I've been to. I went on the cruise last year. And each time that I come to see you, I get a little bit closer to the Vortex. And things are going better and better, but there's still some areas that...
Well, we don't want to make this Vortex sound like a prize or like a hard thing. In other words, we want it to just be this expression of who you really are that you have easy access to. Can you imagine what people who are hearing you could be thinking? Oh, being in the Vortex must be, getting into the hot seat must be a really hard thing. And we say, it isn't. It's just a matter of being clear about what you want and being in the vicinity. The reason that we choose you as we do is because if you have a question that's queued up that's strong and you're in the vicinity, then we know we can have a meaningful conversation. Sometimes your question is so meaningful that we know we'll have a meaningful conversation with you, and your cell phone will download the message to you tomorrow or the next day, while others in the room are getting it now. So all is well. You've been in and out of the Vortex like most people a great deal. We're just putting a different context to it. Sometimes we talk about being disconnected. That's too strong of a word. You can never be disconnected. We just want you to have deliberate, conscious control of your vibrational relationship. Yes. So, what do you want to talk about?
I've spent years studying in what I call the building dedicated to obfuscation, otherwise known as a law library, what's going on in the world in a larger context. And as a result of that, I found out that a lot of things that we believe are not actually what is true either in man's law or God's law or the universal law for that matter.
And there are so many flawed premises that we could write enough books to fill the equivalent number of libraries with the flawed premises. And the reason that man, human, comes to so many flawed premises is because instead of understanding the vibrational basis and the relationship between these two vibrational aspects of your being, instead of tending to the vibrational root or cause of things, most humans are looking at the results of that vibrational mix. We say to doctors and scientists, when you get to the vibrational root, instead of looking for a cure, you'll really have something. But what most are doing is looking at the results that have manifested. And then they sort those manifestations into piles, and then they try to make sense of all of those piles, and they try to understand the relationship between those manifestations, when it would have been so much easier for them to just understand this one simple relationship between you and you. Really an interesting thing. Mm-hmm. Every now and again, Esther likes to watch some of the political programs, and as she watches them, she feels worse and worse every time.
I understand.
And then she'll ponder them and want to talk with us about it. And we say to her over and over again, there is this bigger law that is managing all things. And that's why we don't worry about what's going on with so many who are outside the vortex. It's not fair to say that everyone involved in politics or everyone involved in law is outside the vortex, but it's mostly true. So it's a whole segment of population outside the vortex setting up ways of engaging one another. It's just sort of banging around in sort of mediocrity in terms of their ability to accomplish, where if they would just let go of all of that pushing against and get into the vortex, they would feel so much better. But all of that banging around with each other, you know what it is? It's step one experiences. Mm-hmm. All of that banging around with each other is what's filling this vortex with future benefit. And so you got to love them for their willingness. to bang around out there and put so much in the vortex. But then you just got to decide, you want to bang around out there, you want to get in the vortex. It's the way we would look at it if we were standing in your physical shoes.
Many times, a couple of times, so when I tried to make a jump from the lower end of the vibrational scale where I spent many years down in anger, frustration, overwhelmment. And
Anger, frustration, overwhelmment. There's a big vibrational difference between anger and frustration and overwhelmment.
yes, but I spent so many years there that I finally just got to the point where I didn't really want to be. I would have preferred at that point to have croaked.
Well, but you know why? Because in all of that effort of trying to sort it all out, even if you sort through it and you figure it out, then trying to convince somebody else,
Yes.
that takes more life than you have in this life to get others to come to agree with you. And so what happened to you in all of that is you came to a rational conclusion as a result of. Now, this ties in with something really important because we play about getting into the vortex, and we chose you because you so wanted to get into the hot seat, and you immediately made the association to being in the hot seat and getting into the vortex, and we think that it's a fair comparison. But what we want you to hear in all of this is that as you bang around in contrast and in outside the vortex experience, step one experience, in all of it, you're putting more in to the vortex. You're asking and asking and asking, which means this is calling you and calling you and calling you and calling you in a stronger way. And the stronger this calls, the more uncomfortable the resistance is, so that even though resistance may be getting slighter, the sensation still feels strong because it's calling you in a stronger way. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And then something often happens. You come to a sort of epiphany, and we love it when this happens, because the message that we want to set forth here in this gathering today in a way that everyone can hear it and begin to really feel it in the way we mean it, we think you came to on your own. It's the awareness that I'm going to give up my effort at controlling the uncontrollable. And when you come to the awareness that it's all uncontrollable, all that stuff, what everybody else thinks, what they do, the laws they make, the laws they break, the laws they keep, the laws they enforce, all of that, it is such a scrambled, endless. You can't sort it out. You can't get them to agree. It will fall and is falling of its economic weight, you see. So what happens is, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, because finally you come to this place, and you are coming to it globally, where you say, I give up. I give up. I'm no longer going to try to control the uncontrollable. And when you discover what you can control, which is your perception, what you can control is what you focus upon. What you can control is the way you feel. What you can control is your vibrational relationship with this stream, with this vortex. Then what happens to you is you come to an awareness that all of that struggle caused you to expand, and now you've given up your struggle. Now you are able to take your expansion, receive your expansion, you see. We just love it when life helps you recognize the uncontrollable nature of things. Because you are not a doer, you are a beer. You are an offerer of vibration, you see. Now, that doesn't mean that we want you to stop having activity. Activity is delicious. We just want your emphasis to be upon your vibrational countenance. And if your emphasis is upon your vibrational countenance, now you're in the vortex, and now law of attraction is arranging action and activities that are blissful and delightful in nature, you see. Most action that you offer outside the vortex is hard work. It's struggle. It takes a lot of effort because you're bucking your own current. It takes all you can do just to maintain your status quo, you see. But when you let go of that struggle and you let the vortex have its way with you, haven't you ever wondered how some people achieve so much in the same 24 hours? And some people achieve so little in the same 24 hours? You've got to know that there's a leverage that some are engaging and others aren't. And we'll tell you what it is. It's a vibrational leverage. When you're in the vortex, you have the energy that creates worlds at your fingertips that you're flowing, you see.
The question that keeps coming back into my head is that because of my attempts at certain points when I get very, very depressed and anger to try to jump over here to joy.
It's too big of a jump. No one can do that.
Yeah, it's put me in the mental health clinic a couple of times.
Nobody can make that jump. This gathering is about figuring out how to change those thoughts and therefore change that vibration and therefore change that relationship and therefore change that emotion and therefore change the way things are manifesting in your experience. Now, we've been a little heavy here because you are powerful in your desire. And you're doing extremely well. Look how well things are going. But in order for things to go even better, you've got to make peace with how things are already going. Seems like a backwards approach. When we say to someone who doesn't have something they want, well, you just have to make peace with it. They worry. They say, if I make peace with it, won't the universe say, oh, she's happy with that. Don't bother going to work for her. We say, it doesn't work like that at all. When you make peace with it, you stop resistance. When you let go of the struggle, you soften resistance. Anything that makes you feel better allows you to be swept into the vortex more easily. Well, now you know everything we know that matters. There is nothing more that we could tell you that is of importance. Now you just have to practice getting in the vortex. Esther has been in and out of the vortex, more in than out, almost all of her life. And recently figured out how to get in there on purpose. And as she began to stay in there more consistently, in other words, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, she began announcing to Jerry, I'm never coming out. I'm never coming out. Because just the elation of life, the way she felt, the clarity of her mind, her response to the world, the way the world looked, the way the world was responding to her. Why would anybody ever want to be out of the vortex? And then something happened, out she was. She was really irritated about being out. But then she remembered how easy it was to get back in. She developed this sort of regimen where she would lay in her bed every night before she would go to sleep and make lists in her mind of things that she appreciated. And in the morning when she would awaken, she would lie there and find those things again. And then as soon as she would get up, she would go to a chair with Jerry and she would begin doing a focus wheel to clean up any ragtail vibration that she had discovered in the last 24 hours where she recognized that there was some vibrational work to do because she had had a little piece of negative emotion about something. And once the negative emotion was activated because of her attention to it and then released or deactivated because of the focus wheel process that she was doing, she would go into rampages of appreciation and long lists of positive aspects. And the whole process took about an hour a day, 15 minutes before she went to bed, 15 minutes when she woke up, and then about a half an hour of processes. And she discovered that she could stay pretty consistently in the vortex. And that is what we wish for you. Now, if you're not in the vortex and you've got some negative emotion, which is your indicator of resistance, and you don't know it, don't worry, it will get bigger. And if you still don't notice it, don't worry, it will get bigger. Because everything that you are living at all times, every manifestation that surrounds you is an in the moment indication of the vibrational relationship between you and you. We're not kidding you. There is nothing that happens to you that is because of something else. The traffic you're in is because of this relationship. The way the waiter treats you is because of this vibrational relationship. The way the economy treats you is because of this relationship. Everything that you are living is an indicator of your vibration. Don't you love that? Don't you love knowing that if your body has some symptom or some diagnosis has been assigned, all it is an indicator of your vibrational relationship between who you've become and who you're letting yourself be. That's all that it is. So it would not matter what the diagnosis is that has been given to you. It's only an indicator of a vibration that you can change. So during this gathering, we want to show you how, regardless of what the reality is, you can change the vibration. And when you change the vibration, the reality has to change. You are invincible. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You just got to know the rules of the game. You got to understand law of attraction. You've got to know what your emotions are telling you, and you got to want to get in the vortex.